America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the Mahoning County Commissioners' regular board meeting of the 19th, and we are hosted by Goshen Township at their administration building. And let me put my glasses on. That's 14003 West South Range Road, and it is Tuesday, May 13th, slightly after 5, and I will ask Goshen Township to get up and introduce themselves. We want to thank you for hosting us today. Would you like to introduce your group?
Sean Messler, trustee, Goshen Township.
John Bricker, trustee, Goshen Township.
Teresa Stratton, trustee, Goshen Township. Michelle Barrett, fiscal officer, Goshen Township.
Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you for
Thank
coming down.
I just want you to know, and the cookies. Oh, I see those.
I want to know where the to-go bags are. We have Italian weddings, there's always a to-go bag on the cookie table.
Don't be scared. There's
Do
plates.
you have pockets in your jacket?
I don't, Carol. We got one in your purse. Okay, we're good.
But I wanted you to know that I used my GPS to get out here, and thank God Audrey was in my car. I was making circles. And I'm thinking, why is my GPS doing that? Audrey got us right here with her GPS, and I was driving. Thank God it took two of us, or I would have never been here. One of you would have had to host the meeting with Gino.
And I have no comment.
So, we would like to, Anthony, I just want you to know, Anthony Traficani is not with us today. He's still recovering. Should be with us next week in our regular board meeting downtown, in our office. And at this time, we will host public comments. If anyone has anything to say, you have 3 minutes. Name and address for the record. Yes,
I would like, would you like me to stand up or just?
you can.
I'll do that, how's that?
Name and address for the record.
Okay, my name is Tom Mahoning, in case anybody doesn't know, I'm moved to Ohio 55 years ago. And I moved into Goshen Township, and that's where I live, just a couple miles from here, so. Great area to be in, and I'm pleased to be here, but you probably know where I came from if you read my shirt.
Detroit.
I'm still a Tiger fan. I just have a question of what I been going. The building that you purchased in Austintown was supposed to be for the election board to move into. Why haven't we done anything with it? And I'd like to know why.
Well, at this time, we're discussing that, and we have plans for things that we are tentatively moving into the building. In the next couple weeks, we should have something more definite.
Just to clarify, Tom, that building wasn't purchased for the Board of Elections, it was purchased as a county building. And we're gonna see what fits best into the plans we have for everything. So that wasn't explicitly for, and a little bit before my time, weeks before my time. But the building itself wasn't purchased for the Board of Elections.
There were other offices that were in there prior to the Board of Elections
Okay.
being looked at for that.
I mean, I just wondered because, you know, what we got now, the Board of Elections, is not a good place to have it because of the conditions and,
I would agree.
I mean, so, and I
Disagree with that.
thought that was the way it's coming up, you know, and we got a lot of valuable equipment. I just happen to, I work for the Board of Elections on election day, and whenever I can help.
And I
So-
really appreciate that, and I've looked into that myself, and the equipment is safe where it's at now. Do we need another place for Board of Elections, of course? Do we need another place for everything in that building? I believe we do. In fact, I ran on it for 3 years, and we're working to those ends. But as far as the machines being in danger, they're not in danger right now.
I mean, if you're looking for a place, and this is just, my feeling. We have 163,438 voters in Mahoning County, give or take a few, because I'm sure we lost a few here in the and stuff. Why don't we centrally locate that, where that's at? Because I work for the southwest corner of Mahoning County, and most people, it takes, on a good day, 45 to 50 minutes to get from downtown Youngstown out to Smith Township, where I have to cover. And the people have to go all the way there for their classes and that kind of stuff. That's a long way to go.
And there's a lot of ramifications on who we put where, and that's why it might seem like it's taking so long, because we are looking at everything. We certainly are.
I mean, because,
We have to make the best decisions for the entirety of the county, and the workers, and our residents to go vote there. I appreciate your concern.
because, Youngstown's got 39,757 voters. Like I said, give or take, because you're gonna lose some and you're gonna hopefully gain some. And, you got Austintown with 25,586 voters. Boardman, 30,039 registered voters. Canfield's got 6,068. In that area there, Canfield, I would think would be kind of in the center, and that gives everybody, because the people that are out here, some of the older people, like they don't feel safe going downtown Youngstown. I'm sorry.
I would just remind everybody, Tommy, number one, I'm glad you came voted for Bear, because this guy don't miss anything. I mean, God bless you for the work you put into this. But we do have 30 days of early voting in Ohio. You know what I mean? And people maybe don't understand, but when they go to vote, that's the same as going and voting. If you send in an absentee ballot, it's kind of the same way as if you would go and early
Yep.
vote.
Yeah.
It's all the same. It's easy to vote in Ohio, and like the Secretary of State says, he wants to make it hard to cheat. But it's easy to vote in Ohio if you're.
Thanks, Tom.
That's exactly, I appreciate it, and I want to thank you folks for coming out. Tell
Thanks for
Anthony,
having us.
We wish
my wishes are better for him too, making him better, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else? 3 minutes. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go forward. Motion for the approval of previous minutes.
Motion to approve the previous minutes of board meeting number 18, Thursday, May 8th, 2025.
Second, roll call.
And approval of bills for payment.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy Regan?
Yes. No, journal entries number 1. Do I hear a motion?
Motion for the approval of administrative entries and inter-fund obligations and administrative journal entries.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Middy Regan?
Yes.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes. Those are all.
Number 2, agreements. A through E, starting with lead, A, B, C, D.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. A is an agreement with the Howland Company LLC for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 555 Detroit Avenue, the amount of $9,600. B is an agreement with the Howland Company LLC for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 1627 Forest View, in the amount of $9,349. And C is an agreement with the Howland Company for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 513 Glenwood, in the amount of $33,185. D is an agreement with Mahoning Youngstown Community Action Partnership to provide combustion testing services in the amount of $5,000 in support of our Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program grant. All 4 of these items are non-general.
Thank you. And E is recycling. Luke?
Good morning, Commissioners. Or afternoon, I'm sorry. Item E is just the drop-off recycling lease agreements with these 3 respective communities. Again, there will be more coming down the pipeline, a total of 21 lease agreements in the county.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, agreements. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve agreements letters A through E.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy Regan?
Yes. Number 3 is change orders, A through D.
A is,
B,
change-
C, and D.
I'm sorry.
Good.
We're interrupted.
That's all right.
A is change order number 1 with JDM Real Estate for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 413 Worthington, the amount of $3,025. B is change order number 1 with Foundations for the Future LLC at 606 Dewey in the amount of $1,100. C is change order number 2 with Foundations for the Future at 106 Philadelphia in the amount of $1,200. And D D is change order number 1 with Gary Krim Inc. for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 282 10th Street in the amount of $2,490 on a non-general.
Thank you. Motion for the approval of number 3, change orders.
Motion to approve change orders, letters A through D.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 1, resolutions. Motion for the approval.
Motion to approve resolutions 1, additions.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 2, resolution of awards, grant management A, Anna.
Commissioners, this item is part of our Community Development Block Grant fiscal year '24. We are awarding the Pickering Neighborhood Roadway Improvements Phase 4 project to RT Vernal Paving and Excavating, Inc. in the amount of $171,995.50. This is non-general and a low bid.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Motion for the approval of number 2, resolution of awards.
Motion to approve number 2A, resolution.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Number 3, resolutions, commissioners. Audrey.
Commissioners, this is a resolution approving an addendum to the employment agreement with the Director of Jobs and Family Services.
Okay, thank you. B, grants management. Prosecutor.
Commissioners, this is a resolution in support of the application to the Ohio Criminal Justice Services for the prisoner extradition reimbursement program in the amount of $13,412 with no match required. Kathy McNabb and I talked, and she wanted me to share some details about the program with you. And so it is a state grant that will reimburse for law enforcement extradition. The prosecutor is applying on behalf of the sheriff's office, but the sheriff's office is the implementing agency. It's OCJS rules. The typical process would be for the prosecutors to pay, and the sheriff's office would reimburse them for the extradition. They can only seek reimbursement on certain violent offenders after the expenditures, and of course, the commissioners are the authorizing agent.
Thank you, Anna. And C, hazmat.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. Yeah, there's 2 resolutions for cost recovery for 2 hazmat incidents, one being the Fifth Street Plaza, transformer went down, and there was a accident on the interstate. So we're looking for, recover our costs at $1,045 and $1,487.
Thank you. Is that 2 separate or is that the same?
2 separate.
Thank you. D, recycling.
Commissioners, D is a resolution approving the memorandum of understanding with the Communications Workers of America. This has to do with language clarification within the collective bargaining agreement, at which point these MOUs eventually will be codified into the agreement down the road.
Okay, thank you. And E, sheriff grants. Anna.
Commissioners, this is a resolution in support of the application to the Ohio Attorney General's Office for fiscal year 2026 law enforcement diversion program in the amount of $133,940 to implement the quick response team with no match required. This is a response to overdoses.
Thank you. Number 3, resolutions. Motion for the approval of number 3 resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, letters A through E.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes. Well, that concludes our business portion of the meeting. And I would like all of our employees to please stand up and give their name and title and a little bit of what they do since we're in Goshen Township. So,
I'm alone.
You're first.
She said all my employees.
Anyway,
Anna Diacenis, Director of Grants Management on behalf of the Mahoning County Commissioners.
Steve Sakely, chief of the Mahoning County Hazmat Team. So we're all volunteer. Just let you guys know.
I'm Phil Purrier, I'm the director of the Mahoning County Healthy Homes and Lead Hazard Control Program, also the Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program grant, and the Let's Safe Ohio grant. We have all three. We've been down here several times. I know some addresses down here on Salem, yes, on Salem Road and Beloit and Sebring and all those places. So we get across the county pretty good with our lead grant. A CHIP grant, we'll be having a new release of applications here soon for the county as a whole. We already did Campbell and Struthers, who are partners in the grant with Mahoning County, so look for that to be coming soon. An announcement, I'll probably do another morning show on a Sunday and put it out in the community billboards and things like that. You guys will do the same. All the applications will also be posted on our website through the county communicator, so you can get to us like that as well. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
Everybody, I'm Lou Vega with the Green Team, and so I handle everything recycling and environmentally friendly here within Mahoning County. That also includes making sure that the landfills in the county are inspected and the raw water is tested in those communities. That being said, we just had our first spring House of Hazardous Waste collection on Saturday. Take a look at our website. We have much more events coming up. We are collecting electronics and appliances through the end of October. This will be a tire drive in Canfield Township, just north of here, as well as another tire drive in Smith Township, handling the southwest corner here of Mahoning County. There will be a fall HHW, a tire drive, a shredding drive, all coming up for everybody to participate in, free for the residences, with the exception of televisions. We do apply a small fee to that.
Okay, thank you. That's our group. Adam?
I'm Mike Adams. I'm with the Mahoning County IT Department. My office is in the Mahoning County Jail. My primary project is the Sheriff's Office and the deputies and making sure that when you get a ticket, the computer works. So.
I'm Marjorie Tillis. I'm Mahoning County Administrator for the Board of County Commissioners. My responsibilities is anything they tell me to do, that's what I do. Usually work oversight with our budgets, finance, debt, projects, special projects, anything and everything they put their hands on. Usually I get involved with.
She tries to keep us straight and on the narrow line. Does a good job of it, thank God.
I thought you'd have to sit between us, but.
Oh my God.
No, I don't want
I'm
to
not
see.
kidding. Reverend Simon's going, do you want to get up and pray for me, Reverend Simon? Like, and Nancy, come on.
The Commissioner's Court, not just, I am. That's it.
Nancy keeps us all legal.
Yeah.
Yep. She is our clerk, and she's shy, so we have to coax her.
Oh, no, she's not sure.
Okay, I got
She
you.
had me where she's sitting on there.
She had me running all around the county collecting signatures today.
We talked about it this morning, she's the boss.
Collecting signatures, huh? Well, that's good though.
Anybody doesn't know, I'm Giodi Fabio, I'm the Mahoning County Commissioner. Want to introduce yourself?
I think they all know who I am. I'm Carol Rigetti, Mahoning County Commissioner. And I wanna,
Oh, I'm sorry, Anna had something else.
go ahead, Anna.
Were you gonna ask for a director's report?
I could.
Would you?
Can I have a director's report? Do you have
Thank
something?
you, I do.
All right.
The trustees had asked me to present some information while I was here today.
Well, I think that's a good idea. Thank you. Thank you for
Sure.
that.
All right, so I'm gonna go over here so my back's not to everybody. First of all, thank you for having us out here. One item that I surprised them with was these light bulbs. We have a grant through NOPEC, and Goshen is a participant in the energy savings program, and that's why I brought some specifically for Goshen. So if you need more, just let me know. We have quite a few. But trustee Messler asked me to speak today on the broadband expansion. So there's two projects going on that you may see happening in your community. One is, we call it Mayoris, and that is the county's, specifically for the county's project. And it's creating a closed loop. And it's bringing all the fiber to the door of a selected or a select few buildings in your community. Trustee Messler just signed one for the fire building and one for the police building. So you are now included in the county's Mayoris fiber expansion. Next round that will be coming out and you'll be notified about is there are 12 fiber lines that are available. It would be your financial responsibility to light them up. It's just gonna be dark fiber when we leave it there for you. But if you so choose, and when we get the program actually rolling, you can use or create some type of lease or understanding of how to light that up and have your own like secure fiber network here at the building. So it's kind of a little ways off, but we are working through it step by step. So that's the Mayoris project, that the fiber's gonna come to the door and stop. The other project is we had contracted with Eastgate Regional Council of Governments to manage the project's day-to-day implementation, and that is to provide broadband to unserved or underserved locations throughout the county. The commissioners awarded $1.5 million, and that covers Jackson, Milton, Smith, and Goshen. That contract is with Spectrum. So I was unable to get the list today, but when I get the list of addresses, I will send that to you. So this was the list that the FCC provided for unserved and underserved. So if you look at the list and a client says, well, my address isn't on there. Well, if they're between two people that are on there, it's just that their name and address wasn't on the FCC website. The Spectrum will come and do a ground walkthrough and verify all the households are households. Sometimes they have barns on the list. So that would, I think, from the conversation I had, a barn would be excluded, but the house would obviously qualify. It was gonna be a mix of underground and on poles, and I think they're leaning towards underground fiber, okay? In the four townships that $1.5 million is gonna cover, there are 430 locations listed. They are nearing the end of completion for design and engineering, which is like the walkthrough stuff and all that. And they will submit for the permits that they require. But so if they say, oh, we're not gonna get a permit for 8 months. Well, what they've explained to me is that during the permitting process, work is being done. If it's on a First Energy pole or an energy pole, they do a statement of work. First Energy would go out, analyze the poles, what's needed, if anything's shifted. They give the bill to Spectrum. Spectrum pays the bill. The energy company would do the work necessary to put something new on the pole. And then that's like the 8 months of permitting. That's what's going on during the permitting process. Then the permit's released once that's all clear, and then it takes approximately 3 months for the provider, Spectrum, to roll it out. But they will roll it out, my understanding is today, that they will roll it out as soon as like one street is done, you know, like they don't wait until the whole area is done to turn everybody on. They're turning it on as they're moving down streets and so forth. So Some may get it sooner than others, and some, unfortunately, with 3,100 residents, might not be within the locale that they chose to do. We were fortunate, though, that we got a bid that would actually meet our dollar amount. I think it was a 50-50 match. Spectrum's putting in 1.5, not a required match, but they wanted the job. And they said, we'll put our own money in to get the job done if you give us the 1.5. So it's a total of like a $3 million project, at least. And then if there is any changes in the cost, that they find out like through the permitting process for the commissioners, that will not come back on us. They're gonna absorb that cost on their side of the contract. So, cause we worried about this because it was funded through the American Rescue Plan Act. Funds are fully committed for that, so it's not like a regular project. If there was a change order, we'd be able to, approach the commissioners for assistance to fund that. So, it's probably looking like a year until the residents see their portion of broadband brought out to the community. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that'll be great. That's a couple of things that Anna and then the group have worked on to try to connect the whole county and the ones that are out in the areas that were not connected. So I'm happy about that. We all need to modernize, even though I barely know how to use my cell phone settings, but that's all right. So with that ends our meeting. And Nancy, our next meeting before we adjourn?
Next Thursday at 9 o'clock, not 10.
Okay,
Next Thursday.
next Thursday at 9?
Yes,
That's the 22nd, correct?
yes.
All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner DeFabio,
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati.
Yes, thank you. And thank you everyone for coming out with us this evening. And thank you